Hey everyone, it's Sunflower Spirit here, and I'm here to do a pick a card reading. And today we're gonna look at um, the energies this week. So, kind of like what's coming in this week, what to expect this week, what kind of obstacles, challenges, what kind of supporting energy this week. So, I have two piles, and these are my Bob Ross cards. So, we have the Palette is pile one, and then we have the Survivor, number two. So, go ahead and pick your pile, and we'll get started here. So hi, this is for those of you who chose pile one or the palette. So it looks like what I'm getting from this is you're having the opportunity this week to create. Now you're gonna have a lot of options, I feel like, and it might be a matter of like using your discernment, like knowing where to put like which colors where or how to mix colors to express. That's kind of like a metaphor. So I feel like but you really have the option to be kind of like the creator this week. Like there's something where you do have like a lot of options, but you have the opportunity to kind of like blend those options, or you have the opportunity to kind of like pick and choose like how you want to go about it. Universe is basically just saying like, you have the canvas here. How do you see this going? So I already love that for you guys. But let's see what the tarot says. Let's see. I'm going to use my Luna Soul Tarot, which is kind of more of a dualistic tarot. I've been feeling kind of a little more of the duality has been harder. I mean, it's always hard, but I feel like the energy this week is kind of like speaking to that, dualism and how it's hard to deal with that. So let's just see what the tarot has to say about this week. So what does everyone who chose the palette need to know? Whoa. Okay. So we had a bunch of cards come out. We had the King of Wands come out, and then we had the Three of Wands come out, and then we had the Lovers, and we have Strength. So all those came out. So this is a lot. Um, so what I'm getting is that like again you're being called, there's something here that you're being called to create. There's something that you're like either birthing or creating, something that you have been like kind of internalizing for a while, nurturing, and now you're being called to take like a heart decision and to kind of like have the courage to kind of like carry this through to the next level, to carry out whatever you're doing. We also, yeah, there's something about like you coming to terms with like your lion side, or with maybe like your darker side, or maybe your more aggressive side, or the side that kind of like gives you trouble, the side of yourself that gives you trouble. You're being called to kind of like have some vulnerability with that side, and to really nurture that side of yourself this week. I also see there's something where you have to kind of like take the lead, like I was saying. Like, this is your doing. You have to be confident in whatever it is you do. You have the palette here. You have the colors. You have the tools to create this. And so they're asking you to really like step into that role and to do what you need to do, even if it goes against what you think you should do, even if it goes against what other people think you should do. They're saying you need to do this. There's a element too where you've already set a lot of this in motion. So you've already like kind of been thinking about this. You've already taken that step. When we go to the from the two to the three and the wands, this is you took that step. You're getting out of your comfort zone. Now you put something in action, you put something in motion, and now you're just kind of like waiting for the next part of this. There is I feel like you might be torn, you might be a little conflicted, and that's why there's this heart decision. You need to make a decision with your heart this week, and you need to remain in your power, remain in control of your energy. So, what else do we have for everybody? We have the Ace of Cups, opportunity for a new beginning, opportunity for emotional fulfillment, for emotional development, self development, for love, for transformation in love, for transforming how you view yourself in love or in connection with other people. What else do we have? This is very beautiful so far. What else do we have for pile 1? We have 7 of Cups. Yep, there's that options again. Lots of options this week. But they're saying it's not necessarily a bad thing because with the palette, you know, you could use your whole palette and create like a masterpiece essentially. Isn't that kind of what painters do? Um, so don't, I think the obstacle this week is going to be like your self um, confidence, like how much confidence you have in your ability, how much confidence you have in the decisions that you make. But it's also going to be like there's a lot of options and not getting confused, not like getting conflicted or confused because there's so much in front of you. Looking at the bigger picture, you need to look at the bigger picture because that's what artists do, right? They see that bigger picture. That's how they can create something and use that bigger picture to kind of like propel you to kind of be that passion, be that fire so that you can have authority over your energy, over the energy this week. This is so beautiful. But again, there's something with, and I heard something about not letting your ego get in the way. So being fair to yourself. What else do we have? We have 6 of Cups. Happiness and harmony, nostalgia, something about the past, something about I see like a smaller hand and a bigger hand. So there's something where you could be learning from a child or you could be learning from a generation that's younger than you this week. And to not allow that to, I feel like there's something here for you in whatever you're learning this week. Like don't let that ego get in the way. What else do we have? We have judgment, again, with a decision. So yeah, there is a decision here. You're kind of assessing how things were in the past. Do you want to continue down that road? This could also be, I know, because from the last reading we did, the collective reading, something about inner child. So maybe your inner child is offering you something that's really valuable this week. Look at this. I find this interesting too. Look how like artistic that cup is. It almost looks like that palette. Can you see that? That cup is like almost looks like the palette where you're being offered something for your creativity, for your authority over your energy this week. So you have this decision here where it looks like there could be clarity for you, but again, it's not getting lost in those thoughts and that confusion. There's a lot going on. So big decision this week, some sort of big decision. What else do we have for everybody for this week? We have the 4 of Swords and the 9 of Discs. 4 of Swords and the 9 of Discs. So needing to be wise about this decision, needing to be stable in your thoughts about this decision. Yeah, not allowing your emotions. This is like that emotional overwhelm, not allowing your emotions to kind of like dictate to you this week. There's something where you do need to be logical about it. There is an opportunity for a new beginning. You need to take control of your power. Where is your power? What do you have control over? Where do you have the authority over the energy? And you really need to capitalize on that this week. There's something about like getting some information. Somebody could be giving you something really important that's going to help you figure out like how to create this bigger picture from all these colors here this week. And so this is something that it's offering you a new beginning. You really need to be self-sufficient this week. I'm really seeing like really rely on that solar plexus chakra. Make sure that your solar plexus chakra is open and available. That's the one where you have that self-confidence, how you relate yourself to the world. We have Devil here. So yeah, there's something that you do need to release. There's something toxic here that you feel bound to that needs to be released this week. And I think what that's going to be is like some sort of ego. This has to deal with something about your ego. So you could be having a situation where you need to kind of like not go the ego way, which is going to be, remember we talked about this in the last one, the ego is going to be that going with the cheat to win, going with that defense mechanism, that denial, that avoidance, that pride, whatever it is, you're going to have to like kind of let that guard down a little bit this week. But, and that's how you open yourself up to creativity too. You cannot create without kind of like letting that ego down. But so there's a fine line here, right? Because I'm telling you on one point, I'm like, you need this self-sufficiency with this Knight of Discs, this King of Wands. You need to really have control and authority over your energy. But on the other hand, I'm telling you, don't allow this lion to kind of like take over everything. Like, really stand your ground spiritually with yourself, emotionally. Don't allow your emotions to become overwhelmed. Be wise about how you're going about this. And I think that you're going to have a good outcome this week. We'll pull some tea leaves for the clues. If this is your story, you know it is already, but I know people like the clues. So what else do we have to say about this story for everyone who chose this pile? We have lobster financial pinch. So could be like some financial situation this week that kind of has you doubting yourself, maybe. Or you feel like that's getting in the way of kind of like being true to yourself spiritually, like being true to your passions this week. What else do we have for everyone who chose this pile? We have skull. Hidden secrets can harm you. Yeah, so needing to kind of like have that discernment, not allow your emotions to get the best of you again. We have quill. Get back to the basics. So this is like you getting your needs met, trying to figure out how you can best get your needs met. That's why I'm saying this wisdom with this Four of Swords. Do you want to do things the way in the past? You have an opportunity to change something this week for the better. But are you going to have the strength and the courage and the vulnerability to do it? I don't know. We'll see. What else do we have for everyone who chose this pile, please? We have eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. Okay, there's your answer. I'm going to stop there because that's a perfect place to stop. So I hope this was helpful for everyone. I hope this resonated. If not, you could choose the other pile, but I appreciate you guys stopping by today. Hey everyone, this is for those of you who chose pile 2 or the survivor of my Bob Ross cards. So we're taking a look at the energy this week. So with the survivor, I feel like things are starting to clear up a little for you. Maybe you've kind of gone through some hard stuff, but I feel like you're recognizing how you can overcome obstacles. You're recognizing how you're able to be like self-sufficient. And how you're able to kind of get through harder times. But let's see. You also have the opportunity to kind of create the life that you want at this time. That was a theme in pile 1 if you didn't watch pile 1. But let's go ahead and pull some tarot and we'll see if there's like anything else that comes out with this. That's already pretty off to a good start. I feel like maybe there's been some disillusionment or your judgment might have been clouded, but I feel like that's clearing up this week too. And also there could have been some sort of like heart chakra blockage, but it looks like that's also clearing up as well. So that's really good. Let's see what the tarot has to say though. So what does everyone need to know for this week who chose the survivor card? We have the Three of Pentacles. So I feel like you're building something, wanting to collaborate. You're also being, I feel like you're grateful about something this week. You feel really grateful. You feel really blessed about something in your life this week. What else do we have? We have the Eight of Wands. So a lot of fast movement, a lot of like quick moving energy, a lot of energy in general, communications, travel, movement. We have the Nine of Swords. So maybe having some trouble sleeping, maybe having some anxiety about something. Not sure what that's about, but we'll look into that. What else do we have for the survivor? It could be like a trauma response, overcoming a trauma response. Ace of Cups. The first pile also got the Ace of Cups. So it looks like you are being offered something really great. Your ability to kind of like have gratitude this week is really offering you a lot. It looks like there's something coming in that could be really fulfilling this week. This has to deal with some transformation that you've gone through recently or that you're going through. Yeah, you're the survivor. You've been through stuff and you live to tell the tale. That's awesome. We have Three of Swords. So I just want to point out I have two threes here now. So threes could be important to you this week or something about threes. Three of Swords, some heartbreak, some loss, some pain, some disappointment, some grief. Why? Why are you having this? I feel like there's something about anxiety, but maybe there's something about shame. I feel like there could be like I'm getting some sort of trauma response this week. There's a lot happening and you are maybe struggling with this. Let's see what else we have. We have the Five of Cups. Yep, you're struggling. You're struggling in your emotions. You have been through a lot, but I feel like you're being activated this week. Your trauma, your triggers, your trauma's being activated or triggered this week. That doesn't mean that you don't have a lot to offer. They're saying that gratitude will really help you, like being grateful, and that there is a lot coming to you. So they're saying focus on what you do have, not what you don't have. And that will help kind of like with some of this anxiety. It'll help with some of this struggle in your emotions. It'll help with some of this like pain and shame and anger that you're experiencing. What else do we have for everyone who chose the survivor? The moon. Yeah, there's things here that are like illusions. So you have this choice. You always have this choice. A lot of times the full moon, it will illuminate things for us. We can see clearly in the dark what we couldn't before because we didn't have the full moon to illuminate it there. So I feel like like I said, there's something where you're coming out of this darkness. This is a really opportune time just because it is like a healing process. This is part of your healing process, but I feel like you have to choose which side. Like with the moon, it's either like you're going to go to those illusions, you're going to go to those things that aren't real, maybe the things that are comfortable, or you're going to really be like, no, I want to see in the darkness. Show me what's real in the darkness. Show me how to heal. See how she has those stars around her? She's trying to heal that emotional stuff. So, that's very beautiful. What else do we have here? This is a heavier pile than the first pile. So if this isn't resonating and you don't think the heaviness is yours, the first pile might be yours. We have the Hanged Man. So feeling kind of stagnant. Also, I'm drawn to those fall colors as we see some of the colors change on the trees. There's something about like a death cycle or a life and death cycle. And you do you see how this person here is like has a green leaves that would show like the life of the trees, and the other trees kind of have the yellow and red, which would show the dying leaves. There's something where like you are growing, you are having some sort of development process, like some sort of spiritual development process, or some sort of growth, emotionally or spiritually. And there's things that you're going to have to fall away. There's things that are going to have to be left, not to be a poet again, but you're going to have to leave something behind. And this is just part of the process. A lot of times when we go through these awakenings, we have these awakenings, you will grow out of the timeline of the other people around you. And so other people are going to have to be left. And that's just kind of how it works with this spiritual stuff. Then we have temperance. Yeah, because you've been doing a lot of changes on yourselves. You've been doing a lot of growth, like working on yourself, and there's a lot of changes. You're asking for these changes. Do you see how she's like putting her hand in that waterfall? She's asking for the change. She wants the change. So this is something that you've been asking for. So now you kind of have to make that decision just to kind of like propel yourself farther. Um, with the survivor here, again, it's like you're going through something, but you're going to get through this. Like, it's really hard. I see you struggling in your emotions, I see you struggling in your thoughts. But that's part of the process. That's part of something's activating you right now. And you haven't quite made it over with this hanged man card here. You haven't quite made it to the next part of this process. We have the Six of Cups on the back. So yeah, and you're thinking of the past because that's where your comfort level is. So you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Like, I just set myself in motion on this journey where this is so hard and I'm so anxious and I can't sleep and I'm struggling in my emotions and I'm struggling to know what's real and what isn't real. And so you're looking to the past because you're like, well, at least I was comfortable in the past, but this isn't supposed to be comfortable. There's something that you've set in motion here that you and the universe, you and God, have already set in motion. It's to find this fulfillment, it's to transform yourself into this fulfillment. It's supposed to be dark and scary, and you're still kind of like on the cusp of that. So, um, that's a lot. I know I wasn't expecting it to be that heavy. It feels like if you watch the new moon in Virgo reading, this is kind of like a continuation of whose ever story that was. But let's pull some tea leaves. You know, if this is your story, you would know, but I know you guys like the clues. So, what are some clues? We have elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Yep. This is a spiritual journey. You're on your spiritual path. There's something spiritual here. It's not all bad. It just feels really ucky when you're in it. It's actually going to be better. You know, you're going to come out better for it. With the elephant, you're going to be wiser. We have dog, far away, a distant friend is thinking of you. So rely on your friends. There's people who maybe know what you're going through and they're pulling for you right now. You have loyalties. Even if you're losing, like with this card, if you're losing people, there's still people around you who may not understand it, but they do care that you're struggling right now. And they do want to support you. What else do we have here? We have mule. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. So I don't know. There's also people in your life maybe like this. Maybe that's what that pain is about. Maybe that's what the struggle in the emotions with the Three of Swords is. You feel ashamed because maybe there's somebody in your life who's like, I don't get this. Why are you doing this? What is all this drama about? And you're like, it's not. I'm just going through a thing right now. Maybe there's people who don't have, maybe they can't see what this is. What else do we have? That doesn't mean you don't have people. Because look at this elephant card. This is for your wisdom. You're going to become wiser. This is for your growth and development process. This is your healing process. And you also do have people here. What else? We have coins. Money will be coming to you. So you are physically stable. They want you to know you're physically stable. And weeping willow. Family sorrow. So yeah, there's something about your tree. Maybe you're learning about your generational patterns. Maybe you're one of the people who's breaking some of those generational patterns. You're realizing the people that you have to leave are the people who, are they are never going to change. There's a certain point, where we have these people in our lives and generational trauma is a real thing. We pass down these traumas. We pass them down until one person in the family is like, nope, not going to do it anymore. I get to choose my life. I have this palette. I get to choose how the painting is going to go, and I'm going to paint it differently. And that's the survivor. That's the person who has these dark, dark, dark nights of the soul. That's how that happens. And so you could be that person right now. So this is very beautiful, very deep. I'm sorry if this is you going through it, but I guarantee you I have the utmost confidence that you will get through this if this is you, because I've seen it before. I've been through it myself before. Um, but if this doesn't resonate, you could pick the other pile or pick another video. I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by today.